Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Now you're an adult. So get out of my house. Anyways, welcome back everybody to the 100 Baby Completionist Challenge with Cleo Dewott. And here I am narrating commentary today because my voice commentary didn't record when I did this game audio. Today's plan of action, now that I had Cleo apply for university, I needed her to finish the Renaissance Sim aspiration, which just required to hit level 3 of a third career, which we put her in the writing career in the last episode. And I think here I was looking for her scholarships to come in. But there was nothing. We checked way too early, because I didn't know, it said in a few days, and I didn't know how long that was going to take. But here we are. Boy, is it weird going through this video in the past tense. So we were still patiently waiting for our exciting news to see if we were in university or not. And of course, it's New Year's Eve, but we don't celebrate holidays here. So we have Cleo wake right up, check her status on the computer. There's me frantically looking through notifications to see if I had missed anything. But, and look at that! She got accepted to both universities, Brightchester and Foxbury. Going through the degrees, she was accepted into a pretty good amount of distinguished degrees, which was pretty cool. I was thinking of it, I didn't know what I wanted to put her in. She could be in, like, anything, because she is skillful at everything, so. But we definitely wanted her to be in a distinguished degree. And I've later decided, spoiler alert, it's gonna be villainy, because I thought that that would be fun. She got accepted into it, so. Good for us. And of course, she's stoked. And we love that. Cleo Dewott being educated is what we wanted. That is our goal. But no, of course, we have to finish the Renaissance Sim aspiration first before we can move on. So here I have her writing some stories. Get her writing up so that way we can get promoted. And also to write some books. Because, Cleo has mighty words to ascend onto this planet. What an achievement. Cleo finished writing an entire book. I don't remember which book this one was. I think it was the first one that I started a couple episodes ago, actually. She never actually finished it. So, oh yeah, these kids be killing me. So she publishes that. And then also to collect the mail. And guess what? She also got her scholarships. So of course we need to take a look at those because that's money handed to us. And so she got accepted to just about everything that we applied for. We applied for literally everything because we're selfish and disgusting. And look at this. This actually made me kind of happy. She's pretty stoked for that. So she food and drink, bowling, athletics, which is really funny because we cheated. But the only one she didn't make was the one for being poor, which to be fair, we painted and got a good, pretty substantial amount of money. Like $6,000 is like pretty hard for a college student to just have. So that's fair, but everything else she got. And she wasn't afraid to show that to everybody in the neighborhood. So we're proud of our Cleo. At least I am. Then I had her go on to write her next best-selling book, of course. And very hard to come up with a name for this one, but I thought it would fit. So Cleo Dewott and the Seven Dwarves as a short story. Very creative of her. And most of this, like, when I was playing, it was a lot of just wasting time. I didn't want to enroll her in university while she had that writing job, because I don't think that they coincide. I think you can only have a part-time job, and that one wasn't considered that, so we had to do it first, unfortunately. So Cleo finishes this short story that she came up with, and so we go to publish it before bed, and not to our surprise, New Year's Eve sucked, because we didn't even do it. But, to our surprise, the most recent book that Cleo wrote has been nominated for an award. Check out the next awards ceremony, Sunday at 7 p.m. to see if she won. And so, I'm like, hold on a second. That's impressive, because she just pulled that out of her ass. Then number 1 comes in, and I'm like, let's ignore her. But then at the same time, she was good to us, so let's not ignore her. So we're waiting. Cleo needs to go to work, and then we gotta go get an award. It's getting close to 7 now. She worked until 7. So it was like, as soon as she got out of work, we had to go. So there she is. She gets her promotion, the first one. Only one left. Gets promoted to blogger. We don't care. We don't care about the money. It's shit anyways. We want to go see if we win this best-selling award. Hit that travel button, and then we're on our way. And there we are. And then we're immediately met by Dirk Dreamer, who just doesn't like us. Still doesn't, as you can see. He does not want to talk to our Cleo Dewott. Don't know why. But we're all dressed up, ready, and then I find out it's at the place where you have to be a certain level of fame, and we're not famous at all. So that was an issue. Didn't know what to do for a second. Everyone is like cramming in. They're getting their awards, and we're not even allowed in. So didn't know what to do with that. Eventually, though, I just cheated. Cleo can magically teleport whenever I tell her to. And then it doesn't matter. There she goes, and she made it in. Nothing matters in this world. So she's finally at the Starlight Accolades, and I thought I would take this opportunity to try to get noticed as much as possible. So we tried very hard to speak to literally every celebrity that is sitting in front of us. And it did not go very good. Literally nobody cared that Cleo Dewott was in their presence, which is disgraceful, in my opinion. Absolutely nobody gave a shit. So, I felt a little bad. But, we're here to win an award, and that's okay. And then there it was. She actually won. She actually won. For such riveting writing and storytelling. Cleo Dewott won the Starlight Accolade for Best Book that she wrote in 2 seconds. That's how impressive she is. That's how much she matters. So I'm sitting here trying to accept the award for her, but this woman wouldn't get out of the way. So I got a little nervous. I thought like we wouldn't be able to get it for a second because she literally wouldn't get out of the way. So I just reset her and forced her to kind of go away. But then we finally got it. Alright, and then Cleo Dewott. Everybody clap. Everyone clap. I'm proud. She's proud. The kids are proud. That, this is all I can ask for is, Cleo just getting what she deserves for everything that she does in this world. For best writing. Of all skills, writing. I'm still impressed. She did it. Many awards to come. After accepting the award, now she's like really tired. We managed to catch the attention of the celebrity Dustin Broke, who is probably the ugliest celebrity that there is, but we'll take what we can get. She is dressed to impress. So the Cleo charm is undeniable. Then he decides to leave, but it's fine. We can find him whenever we want. So we've got to find out. We go home, and so clearly, because Cleo is not home, the house is in shambles. It's on fire. We get home, it's immediately on fire, and I'm looking around, and it's obviously the backyard grill. So these kids can't help themselves. But it's okay, because Cleo is on a mission. And so is Yesed. Yesed came in as backup. We appreciate Yesed there for a second. But no, they had it handled. And, you know, just these kids they need help sometimes. But surprisingly, the Cleo works her magic. And it actually works surprisingly easy, even though he is just a B-lister. But that's still pretty impressive. She gets that first smooch. Very easy. I was actually surprised at how easy this was. And you guys know the next step, obviously. We got one slot, and it needs to be filled. So, I'm sitting here, and, like, it's not even working, by the way. I had to do, like, risky hookup, which I don't even know what that is. I think that's for slice of life. But it's the only thing that would work. And so, eventually he decides that, he wants to tap that. But, it did take him a good minute, gotta say. And then, of course, yes, we all know how babies are made. So, cut away. And then it is time to take the test. The most important test of our lives. Secondary to a university exam. And she passed! With an A. Flying colors. So yes, she becomes pregnant with, baby 8? I think that's it. Alright, then the next day, Cleo comes home from work, and she didn't get promoted, much to my dismay. I kind of felt like that would happen, but I was hoping it would just end as soon as possible. But no, of course not. We don't deserve things to happen quick when we want them. Then it was the twins' birthdays, the younger ones. Wyatt first. He becomes a geek. We love that. Geeks are cool. And then turned out to look like that, which is fine. I ended up making them over anyways, so we'll see that in the next episode. But next was Abba Lovelips, who I forget. She becomes paranoid, yes. Which is whatever. And then I wanted to see if she would grow up with that, like, weird makeup she had the entire time, and she did not. And I kind of thought about putting it back on, but I didn't, because it really didn't look good, but it was kind of the charm of her character. Speaking of, she kind of broke for a second, like, her arm. That's just, there's no fixing that. Alright. Then it was kind of just wasting time. But then, hold up, wait, I kind of forgot that this happened. So Reg's miniature rocket launches have resulted in a lucrative asteroid mining operation. It's graciously placed some of the space minerals it returned with inside the household inventory. So first of all, so Reg goes to space. I'm like, whatever, Reg does weird stuff all the time. But he brings home an unnaturally large space rock. And I was surprised. Nothing could prepare me for whatever this was. Because the question went from what to how. How did he manage to get this? And this is me. I mean, I wish I got my actual reaction of it because it was funny, but, like, this is literally me not knowing what the hell to do with this thing that he brought. I was amazed. I still am. So it becomes a decorative, landscape piece. And then, obviously, we thank Reg. Reg Dewott is the only Dewott to really, pull his weight. So after that, Cleo goes back to work and still manages to not get promoted. And I'm sitting here thinking, what the hell? But why and what for? Because she had everything ready. She was in a good mood. She went to work on time and she had everything ready and she didn't get promoted. So I was a little pissed. And I was thinking this game for a second was trying to destroy me. to speed up time, and she ends up going into labor. That's how long I was recording. She ends up going into labor. So, wake up, time to go, and gives birth to a beautiful baby boy. And first name came to mind was Jimbo. So Jimbo Dewott, welcome to this godforsaken world. So yeah, so the slot is already filled. Now we wait. And I thought while we had to pass time anyways, I would just upgrade everything in the house because it would just break. Like literally after one use, it would be broken again, and then Cleo would have to repair it. So I invested in that. Get her some handiness up. Eventually we can just upgrade everything, and I thought it would be better than having to buy new stuff because we're poor all the time. Meanwhile, Yasette is in the background, enraged, which is a bad thing because it can kill you, and I'm not in the market for having my kids just drop dead. So I was kind of anxiety induced. I didn't know what to do to fix it. So I was like, okay, maybe watch a movie. It'll help. That's what I would do. And it made her even more angry because the movie was so bad apparently, which is fair. And then I just started to cheat basically because I really thought like she was gonna die because nothing was making it better. So I was freaking out. Like, what do you do when you're angry? I guess you go exercise. And I didn't know what to do. I made her needs go up. And then she started walking like that, and I was like, this is bad. But eventually she really just took like a big crap and then took a cold shower, and she was fine. So that was just a moment of like, uh-oh. Bad news bears. So, with that resolved, Cleo goes back to work the next day, and this should be the final one. Her radar is on excellent, and if it's not it, I'm gonna lose my crap. So, we wait and wait. Nobody's home nobody's home because like baby can't be home by himself. So, just a moment of Dewott clarity because there's just silence in our house. It's just Reg. Reg is by himself. So, he's fine. He's clearly got his own thing going on anyways. So finally, 7 o'clock rolls around, and guess who it is? Cleo Dewott, and she has done it. She completed our first aspiration. The Renaissance Sim aspiration is done, and she's done with that career. She got promoted. So, first what we do is we retire because we don't want jobs anymore. It's really lame. So quit that shit. Then next order of business was to figure out what our next aspiration was, which I already knew I wanted to do the new academic one, so that way she could go to university, which was the whole point of everything that we've been doing. So second aspiration started, and then the next goal or step was to actually finally enroll in a university, which we already decided it was going to be Foxbury because we were going for the distinguished villainy degree. We're getting a master's in being a bad guy, and that's okay with me. So for this setup, I went with 2 classes and then an elective because I didn't want her to have like too much going on. She already has so much going on at home, and I didn't want to like throw her in too much and be too stressful. And for the elective, I was gonna go with robotics, but I guess there isn't a robotics class, or I couldn't find it, or I'm just illiterate. But so here was me going through every single thing because I didn't know what to do, and I wanted to do something that she didn't really understand anything about. So we just went with veterinary because fuck it, we like animals, I guess. And then next was, I actually did want to like pick up the house and put it in the Brightchester campus area, but there wasn't a lot big enough to hold the actual house. So I couldn't do that because The Sims 4 sucks and has pre-made lots and you can't add more, which is really lame because you could do that in The Sims 2. But, I'm not going to complain too much about that. So we're just, we're in the same house, of course, but we're going to stay in Oasis Springs. And then, next best thing is Cleo has a full ride because of all of our scholarships. She doesn't have to pay a single cent. And that's what's important, and that was the goal. Because we couldn't afford shit. So that was basically the extent, and we're going to explore university. Or what we can. I'm gonna try to go to the campus as much as I can. She was also had to be a part of the soccer team because that was one of the scholarships. So she was forced to do that, which is fine, I guess. So we're gonna explore university and classes and everything in the next episode. Now that she's finally enrolled and we have a new set of tasks set before us. So yeah. So I'll see you guys then in the next episode. Hopefully my commentary's fixed. So see you then, and goodbye.